And welcome to Near Mist, my Let's Build series in the game Enshrouded. Now, got to start at the very beginning, and I did. Here's my character. This is me. It's a little different than me. For example, I have a little more hair than that, and it's not quite that white. But on the other hand, he has a proper body, and I have a dad bod. Though I do have a proper belt holding up my pants, and my socks do reach the floor. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyhow, as I originally said in episode 0, you know, we're going to step into Enshrouded, because I really feel it's a building game, and so the emphasis is on building. But that being said, you got to start somewhere. Before you can start building, you're going to have to be able to collect some resources and get some stuff done, so that we can actually start the building. And one more thing too is what you can build early on is really sparse. So anyhow, we got to create a new game. As I also said in episode 0, the game's going to be basically the default settings, with the exception that I'm going to take the duration of nighttime. Where is it? Here it is. And bump it up to the duration of daytime. You know, they went to a lot of trouble to add a lot of cool stuff for night. Make sure it's saved. And so I like the nighttime there. Of course, again, up front, I'm going to have a hard enough time surviving the daylight.
Long ago, a wanderer brought an enthralling gift to the people of Embervale. The elixir. It was a cure, a blessing, a weapon. Once concealed by the ancients, its might had been set free. With it came power, mistrust, and a longing for more. Humanity dug the elixir wells, ripping apart the land and each other to quench their thirst. Elixir and blood, a drop for a drop. But from the depths of the wells, an unforeseen curse crept into Embervale. The shroud, a ruinous fog which sought only to spread and devour. Facing their downfall, ancients and humans united to forge the Flameborn. Now, your time has come. Awake.
So civilization was destroyed through rampant drug abuse. I'm not sure there's a message in there for that, but that's basically what she said. And this is me. Bald dude without a shirt. Okay. I'm going to turn the music off. I had to turn the music on so that we could actually hear the narration for the intro. And then we're off. So this is, I believe it's called the Cinder Vault. This is where Flameborn start off. Presumably the ones with the doors still shut still have Flameborn in them. The ones with the doors open, they've been born. But where are they? I guess I wasn't first string, probably not second string. It's more like 12th string, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So this is where you can come back time and time again. Look at the map, Cinder Vault, right? This is where you start, and that yellow icon shows that you can fast travel here. We'll get to that at some point. So you've slumbered for too long, Flameborn. The realm of Embervale has fallen, consumed by the shroud, and now the enduring flame calls for you. Find a place in the ruined world and construct a flame altar to create shelter from the dark. So that's that's building. But that's the very first thing we need to do is get established. Now here they're going to tell you what you're looking at on your screen. And there you go. And the only thing I know how to build is the flame altar. But I need some stone for that. And this big old giant votive tea light I was looking at was, that's a flame. Flame altar. So I'm a flameborn, which means flame doesn't hurt me. There are limits, but you can see I'll stand right here in the fire, kind of warm my toes up, no problemo. Lava? Lava's another problem. I think lava lowers your resistance, because what happens is 9 times out of 10 you'll find the lava in the shroud, and when you go into lava it almost instantly drops your shroud timer to 0, and then you die. So I'm not quite sure it's the lava that's killing you. It might be the shroud, just that the lava reduces it. So a vast world awaits you, filled with secrets and peril. Press I and navigate to the map to track your discoveries. So I brings up interface, I guess is what it's for, and then M, here we go. And this waypoint right here, or this place on the map, is planes for your first base. So they've basically kind of lined up a place for me to go. So I'll set it as a waypoint, and you can see at the top of I have a compass control, and my waypoint is now showing up on it. So I have 123 meters to go to get to it. And they've they tried to make it obvious there. So that red beam into the ground is it. Now when you see red glowing bits like this is lore that you want to read or otherwise take into consideration. So on the flame and its murmurs, pure light engulfs the knowledge of the ancient breed, protects it in a flaming core. Wisdom far beyond my own imagination. I could stare into the fire for hours, seeking answers, a whisper, but I hear none. Despite possessing a voice, it only speaks to those born from the flame. A shame, as I believe we have quite enlightened conversations. And that's from some guy named Balthazar, who seems to be an intellectual, perhaps a scientist of some type. Well, it says the alchemist's theory, so I guess he's the alchemist. But he's not flameborn. He's just a guy. Like Zaphod people proxy, right? Zaphod? He's just a guy, you know? Anyhow, you can see there's quite a drop there. And no, normally that's no big deal in this game. I don't have a glider. I don't have a grappling hook. That's all in the future. So we'll follow this path. Now, in Enshrouded, paths and roads will get you to pretty much all the places you need to go, and even a few places that are optional. Let's grab this torch. But there's lots of places off the beaten path. And I didn't necessarily mean to beat stuff up with the torch, but okay. So now we're going to this mine type area, and you'll notice that like as we approach things like lanterns or whatever, the flame will jump from me into the torch, the lantern, or the candle and light it. So it's another clue that you're not just a normal dude. There's something special about you. Okay, now we can see a chest back there. There's boards in the way, so we can just do a Karate Kid on the boards, and now we're in to the chest. And normally a bandage and a torch is like a big yawn, but since I'm like 2 minutes in the game, that's major treasure right there, baby. Major treasure. I see a bad guy down there in the blue. That blue fog down there, that's the shroud. That's the stuff that'll mess you up. So what we got here? We got another torch. Can't have too many torches, huh? So if I switch to hands, I can do Karate Kid on some of these pieces of furniture. And that's the thing about this world is there's resources everywhere, and almost everything can be destroyed to produce resources. So that's an option. Though typically the resources you get are pretty mundane. But sometimes, like now, mundane is important. Just making sure I don't have a whole slew of guys to deal with. Your inner flame allows you to resist the shroud, but if you linger, you will perish. Escape the shroud to replenish your maximum time in the shroud. So, can I get behind there? So you can kind of think of as this, as like holding your breath while underwater. In a lot of ways, that's what it is. Of course, there are things that can happen that can make it drop faster. Press tab to lock onto your foes. Press control to dodge out of harm's way. Like that. Okay. Ow. Kimama. And there we go. And look at that. He gave me a proper sword. So let's go over here. And we'll open the inventory. And now my number one position is my sword, which is better than a torch in some ways. Most ways. 2 guys. Ouch. Come up here. Put on some band-aids. Yeah, now I can't let that guy hang out. So we'll grab treasure from their bodies. So far in this game, I've never found anything that is completely useless, like a poisonous potato in Minecraft. So all this stuff has uses. Not everything is super useful, but certainly everything is useful. And my hand should be bleeding by now. But they're not, so. Okay. So let's continue running down the hill. And that's a respawn point. So if you fall, you will rise again at your last return beacon. That's an incomplete statement. You will return to your last return beacon or your last base, whichever you were in last. I don't have a base, so at the moment it's return beacon. Well, we found a new location called Longkeep, and I went up a level, which doesn't mean a whole lot at this point. So I've got 2 skill points, and there's a number of different skills that we can choose from. But before we get too carried away with heading down toward a particular class, there's 2 skills you want, which is the updraft and the double jump. The double jump, that's not it. There it is. That's particularly important. So we'll work our way to double jump. So we'll grab this endurance, increases our stamina, and we don't have enough to get runner, but that's the next one. And then survivor's the branch I prefer, and then my secondary branches are athlete and tank or warrior. But that updraft is still tasty. We will get to it eventually. Skills are important, but you know, even if you make a mistake while equipped with a shield or melee weapon, press right mouse button to block. A well-timed block will parry the attack. And can't grab these swords. In the ruins, there's sometimes stuff that is like this water. You can just grab it and go. A lot of the other times there are things that you could like smash or destroy and it'll produce loot. Now, of course, we saw that the world destroyed itself I look at these tents and stuff and I say, well, it was a couple of years ago, but then there's other clues that shows like it was decades or hundreds of years ago. Hold the chamber to your last breath. Those were the words of the Ancient One before he entered with a handful of our best warriors. It was the first time I'd seen one of his kind, and I expect it will be the last. His face is burned in my mind. My life and those of my remaining soldiers are pledged to this sacred duty. Captain Arkwright. So we've got Captain Arkwright and Balthazar. Balthazar is the alchemist. Captain Arkwright is apparently a tragic hero. Hold the gates. Looks like it was a pretty nice setup they had once upon a time. Okay. This was some type of pub or store. It's got a bunch of wood. So we'll take the wood. And a chest. Healing potion. We'll certainly take that. Put it to number 7. That's my healing potion slot. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. Interact with campfires to cook food or sit near them with X. We'll grab some of this food and some of this stuff. And there's a journal over here. Oh, and a pork chop back here. Here we go. Lean meat. So it says here, finally a break from the tedious work. My bones are sore, but the warmth of a fire, a little shelter, and some sleep should allow me to become well rested. Food is getting scarce, and I hear they're planning an expedition. Thankfully, I hid some rations below my bed. They will make for a nice meal when cooked over a fire. So that's what we'll do. So with the default settings, you're not going to starve if you don't eat. But, oops. I didn't mean to beat this campfire up, but if you want to succeed at this game, especially if you're solo, you're gonna want to cook and eat foods and drink drinks because all of them provide buffs, right? Different types of buffs. So that is important, and of course, as you go through the game. You get new ingredients, more powerful ingredients, and new ways to cook that will even make your old ingredients more worthwhile. I don't know where I got that big old stick from, but okay. And there we can see maximum health is increased by eating cooked meat. So then this is a well. Water is a great source of vitality. Drink it to enhance your stamina and regenerate it faster. So just like in real life, you wanna stay hydrated. And besides providing a type of buff, water will also be an important ingredient in crafting, especially for stuff around agriculture. That's a hop hare. It's basically a rabbit with crazy big ears. And now, a thing about this world, this game world, is anything outside of a base, right? If we set up a base, anything outside of that base will reset itself occasionally. So if it's on a server, it's every 30 minutes if nobody's around. If it's a single player game, then it's every 30 minutes if nobody's around. Or if you exit the game and come back in. So every time you start the game, all the stuff outside your base will reset to the way it was. Which means you can go... No, the bow I would want. I'm going to need some stone to make the altar. So, but basically, you could totally decimate the environment outside of your base. Including, grabbing all the resources and then go away for a while and come back and it's all there again. So in that respect, there is unlimited resources. And I know, when you read, like Reddit and stuff, there's a lot of people who say, well, you shouldn't do that. That's not good, right? That's poor design. But if you play the game for a while, you realize that yes, it does give me infinite resources, and I can't tell you how many times I feel like it's not enough, right? It's like, yes, the resources keep coming back when I'm out there trying to get resources all the freaking time. So I'm grabbing these bushes here. They're giving us twigs. They're giving us fiber. I grabbed rocks because that's what I need immediately, so that we can build our altar. So, nature's pantry. Grab everything here. I think that's enough stone. I think that's 5. So we kind of run here to the middle of this. And we go to crafting, right? Which, I have more than enough. I have 15 somehow. Okay. And I created the flame altar. And so now we use it. Right, and what it'll do is the yellow outline you can see on the edge there, that's the outskirts of the base. That's outskirts of where we can build. And anything outside of that will be reset every half hour. So I created the flame altar. Now I can create tiny chests. You are not alone. There are other survivors drowsing in nearby ancient vaults. Find them so they may aid in your journey, but go gently. One beckons nearby, just outside of the shroud's grasp. Okay, so that's the thing. I always tell you I like living, breathing worlds. Well, this one's living, breathing. It's got a bunch of other survivors, and I'm gonna have to help them. So we have a 40-meter cube that we can build in, and now we can expand it to 80-meter cube. And this is the flame. So when you increase the flame level, basically grow the strength of the flame, you can see that it gives you a bunch of benefits. But it requires a bunch of stuff that obviously we don't have. And it'll be a little while before we get any of this stuff. But and then you can use the flame altar to respec your skills, but I just have one skill, so not much point in that at the moment. Just telling you I can. Okay, so to get going here, and I need a workbench. Workbench needs 3 strings, and wood logs. I have plenty of wood logs, but the strings I'm a little low on. So here's a string. And I need 1 more fiber to make the 3rd string so I can build this crafting bench. Crafting bench, extremely important. I mean, if you've played any type of builder game, the crafting bench or table or whatever, workbench, that's kind of like the core of your crafting mechanic. So I did get a plant fiber from that. So, I'll grab the mushroom. See if I can get some more goodies. Okay, let's do this. So we've got one more string, and now that should allow me to build the workbench. Done. I can't place it on the flame altar, but I can place it anywhere within the borders of my base. Just trying to find a decent place to put it, I guess. Okay, so with this here, watch my sword, watch my torch, because they have durability, you saw that, but when you open up a workbench, it basically repairs all of your stuff. So even if you use all the durability on a tool, it'll become unusable, but it doesn't disappear. You can repair it. And then here's the stuff we can craft if you have the available materials. And the grappling hook and the glider are toward the top of the list, but we don't have the materials yet. Construction hammer we do, but we're not quite ready to build yet. So, out of my quests, find the sleeping survivor. So the world is lost, but not barren. Survivors of the Shroud wait to be roused by your inner fire. Find the sleeping survivor marked on your map, and you will have to venture through the Shroud. So let's look at the map. And where is he? There he is. He's off in the unknown. And that's going to be kind of tough. Because I have a rusty sword, and I'm running around in essentially my underwear. So, you know, you're not going to have the bad guys cower in fear when this bald, shirtless guy in his underwear pops up. So, but we can make some stuff now. We can make a shield. Shield be useful. Of course, I don't know how useful. That thing looks like it's going to fall apart if I hit it with anything bigger than, say, a pool noodle. But, we got to take what we got and make the most of it. And I don't have much. So let's see. All about grabbing some resources here. So I only need one string. That's enough to make a shield. So here's how the shield works. I keep my shield right here and I equip it. And now it disappears. But it's part of my characters. If you go to your character display here, you can see the shield's equipped. And I'm carrying it. Like I said, it looks pretty rough. Okay, bow, pickaxe, and axe. These are important. We're going to need these, and sooner rather than later. So it looks like string is the missing element for all of them. Like I said, never have too much water. Except if you're drowning, I guess. Then you can have too much water, but... Dang. So to make the string, how much can I make? I can make 3. That's enough to get me the axe. But I need twigs, which that's just how this goes. I'm going to be fighting for one resource after another. Okay, let's see if that gets me unstuck. Pickaxe. It doesn't really look like a pickaxe. It looks like a crutch or something, but okay. And then the bow. I have enough string. I just need 4 twigs. And we'll need more twigs after that for arrows. And it's getting dark. Let me just put these where they go here. And we'll get some twigs and wood and maybe even some resin from chopping down some trees. Twigs and wood are twigs and wood, but the resin is a crafting item that is kind of irrelevant at the moment. I think the glider or the grappling hook will require it, but well, I don't mean to not get deeper into the ground. I don't think that dinky, skinny little handle could hold that big old rock through a few swings. Unless that handle has an iron core to it or something. Okie dokie. Oh, I can make the rake now. Not real big fan of the rake. It's useful, kind of, sort of, but it's hard to use so that it is useful in a way that you're satisfied with the results. We'll get to that. I have a very low stamina, so I run out of stamina pretty easy. So there's bed here. Let's use it. So you notice that when you're sleeping in the bed like that, time moves by at 60 times normal speed. If you're playing multiple player, then if everybody sleeps at once, you get the full 60. But if some are awake and some are asleep, then it's a fraction. So if there's 2 players on the server, one's sleeping and one's not, the night passes by at times 30. If there's 4 players and one's sleeping and the others aren't, it's passing by at times 15. And now we're up. Okay. Now, except for the survivors I'm going to rescue, and just the occasional animal, pretty much every living thing in this game, every other living thing in this game, or semi-living, I guess, is going to try to kill you. They're all bad guys. You've got, I need twigs. You've got, inside the shroud, we have what they call the fell. And they're basically your, I don't know, kind of like shroud zombies. And twisted humans, twisted animals. There's some dungeons called the Hollow Halls, and inside are the Hollow, and they're like undead. I don't want to fight both. Bring them out here. Ouch. Ouch! Excuse me. I have some place to be right now and it's not there. I'm leaving a blood trail, I think. Okay, he's kind of lost me. So let's make that bow now. We want to make a bunch of arrows and stuff. At this stage, arrows are super cheap. Just need twigs, which seems to be an ongoing problem. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, you know, you're going to need materials to make things initially, but there's a whole lot of consumables, and you're going to need items for creating those consumables. I didn't realize how close I was to death until I looked up to see how fast I'm healing, and it was just barely registering. So there you go. Hopefully I don't get jumped by a wolf or something over here, but let's go ahead. We're gonna need the wood anyway, and we'll get some twigs undoubtedly. There's some. Just warming up, just stretching my muscles there. Ah, some resin, nice. Firefly. Okay, so that means I must have accidentally picked up a firefly, which is good. Fireflies, normally they're there during the day. Obviously, that's how I picked one up. But they hide in the grass, and at night well, fireflies do what fireflies do, and it's easy to spot them. And I like them because, you know, you can use torches for lighting. Nothing wrong with that. Time-honored tradition. But if you have enough fireflies, you can craft them into a number of different firefly lamps. Adds a little level of sophistication to your builds. Besides, they won't burn your house down. Not that torches will burn your house down in this game, but okay, we got some arrows. Got a bow. Now watch this. I'm going to equip the bow. And what that means is this, right? There's going to be times that I want to use the bow, but I don't want to have to go switch my inventory, so I use the Q key, and it instantly switches the bow. Release the Q key, and the bow goes back away. So that's pretty cool. You could put something else up there, right? You could switch between like a hammer and an axe or whatever, but you know, a sword and a wand. But for me, it's a bow. I'll use up all my scrap arrows. Use up all my flint arrows. Okay, let's go pick up. Oh, recipe unlocked. Torn cloth. That's important. We're going to want torn cloth. We can make bandages now. I'm stuck on band-aids because band-aids suck on me. Okay. Gotta be pretty old to remember that one. Okay. This is what it's like in the shroud. I mean, we passed through it before, but this is much more typical of the shroud experience. Now you have to be careful when fighting, because you can accidentally hit things that make your life very unhappy. I'll get to that in a minute, but let's run out here. And okay, I can start making some armor, though. Armor is probably too strong a word. It would be armor in the very loosest interpretation of that word. No arrows yet. It hasn't been half an hour. So what we're going to do is we'll switch to axe, and we're going to beat up some of the scenery here and get some more cloth. Oh, I got some scrap too. These big bales are cloth and string. Water apparently. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I'll get any more cloth out of these guys. So, a lot of the bad guys, especially the foot shoulder types, they drop cloth, which is where I got that first one. I need to step away from the well, or I'm just keep getting water all day. The only negative thing about smashing all the scenery, well, I mean, you can't ever pick it up intact, right? So you can leave it alone, or you can smash it up. And if you smash it up, it'll give you something. It's not always what you want, but it'll give you something. But you can use your bare hands, which doesn't hurt anything and doesn't wear out your weapons, but takes forever. Or you can use your axe, for example, and it wears out. Ooh, I got daggers. I can make lockpicks. My tiny backpack, though, that's a must-have. It uses 3 cloth, but watch this. So there's my storage. We'll equip the tiny backpack. It got me another row of storage. Nice. Okay, let's make this pajamas. I only have 1 quest. Only 1. Metal scraps, I don't have enough. String I can make. Shroud spores, I don't have enough. Do have enough shroud spores, but I need animal fur and shroud wood. Now, we can pick up shroud wood when we go through the shroud in a little bit. And I need more arrows. I just need more of everything. See what I'm saying? This is just how it goes. And I can make a tiny chest with strings and twigs. Let's make a tiny chest. Because when you die, you know, you'll respawn at your last base or, you know, save point. Respawn, I don't know what they call it, but you're gonna lose some stuff. Now it'll be at your grave, and your grave will be basically close to where you died. It's not always where you died, because, like, for example, if you were in the shroud when you died, like if you were in the red shroud when you died, which the red shroud kills you really, really fast, means you shouldn't be there. But if you fell into it and you died, then your body would be at the edge of the red shroud, so you don't have to go back into the red shroud to get it. If you jumped from a high place to a low place, then generally your body will be wherever you jumped off from. There's exceptions, but so it makes it a lot easier to get your body. And then you know, and when you get your body, it's not even your body; it's a little flame pillar, and it's got your stuff in it, and you can grab it real fast. But it's not everything, right? So it's usually like the resources, like so the, you know, any stone or plant fiber or stuff like that. If they're weapons or something, you actually keep those. So, well, some of them. All the stuff in your hot bars you keep. So now I can place this anywhere in the base. You can see it's pretty free form, right? Or I can make it snap to a grid, and I can make it rotate. So you rotate it and you can snap it to a grid. And there we go. I can do the same thing. Now I can put the table on a grid too. Okay. So let's put some of this stuff away. So I got some arrows, a torch, and a bow in my backpack. Bow's equipped, but we need some more cloth. But I think I have enough to actually make some stuff now. So, you know, this stuff looks so horrible. Yeah, it's almost. I almost. Well, the shoes are basically useless, but I thought they would be useless. I thought they'd have close to 0 armor value, and they do. But since I'm level 2, which is close to 1, and that's practically 0, so I'm about as delicate as, you know, dandelion. Okay, so let's put the shirt on. Again, that is not armor in my book, but I mean, it looks like I went on a cruise and I went to bed one night in my pajamas, and then in the middle of the night the ship crashed, shipwrecked, and I was washed on a desert island, and I was alone and isolated for a year, and this is what's left of my pajamas when they found me. That's what it looks like, but it is and I'm putting air quotes up here, armor. And we need all the help we can get, so I'll talk smack about it, but I'm wearing it. It's an incentive for you to go and get something better. I will tell you that you will find armor in this game. You will find a bunch of weapons. Oh, beehive. So you'll find a bunch of weapons. Weapons aren't a problem. But armor is. You will find armor, but it's going to be a lot easier and more practical for you to craft your own. Well, and it's not you that crafts it. It's actually, depending on what type of armor you want, it's the hunter or the blacksmith. And the blacksmith's the first guy we're going to save here, so all the more reason to save him. Ooh, I can make a wand now. So, you take a couple bones. Again, wands are a weapon, and you can make... So are stabs, by the way. You can make them. So wand's a magical weapon, and it's also useful to have even for your melee character, because you can hold it and use it a lot like a torch. It acts like a flashlight. Not usually very strong, but enough. Plus, you can use your wand to fire on stuff. Now, apparently, this baby wand is more of a paintball gun than a wand, but you can use it to trash the scenery as well. You can get strong wands, and they're pretty powerful, but wands don't use mana. That's that blue bar in the upper left corner. There's another weapon called stabs, and they do use mana, and they require special ammunition called charges. And that ammunition comes in all sorts of different flavors, from lightning and fire to, mystical energy and even healing. So, all good stuff. That's for the wizards in the group. I will not be a wizard. I'm going to be more hack and slash here. So, let's see. Captain Cheryl, Day 6. The raiders have besieged us these past 2 days, attacking from the bridge. Their eyes, such madness we have withheld so far, but only just. And we may not survive the next assault. I've ordered to rig the pass with our last munitions. If those scavengers return, we are prepared. And that's old Captain Arkwright again. So, let's see. And again, flint arrows and bandages. That one day that will be trash, but right now that is gold. That's pure gold. I don't want to bring the tent down. There we go. You can, every time you see these skeletons laying around, you could bash them for bones. I used to do that, but then, that's disrespectful to somebody's corpse. Of course, if I wanted to be really respectful, I'd bury him, and that's not really an option, so... Okay, I've got my ragged pants, my torn pantalones. So now we just need some zapatos and we're good to go. Not particularly stylish. Not particularly stylish. But like I said, every little bit helps. Ooh, nice rocks. The bridge is our first obstacle. We can get across the bridge by using the grappling hook, but we don't have enough stuff to get the grappling hook, and we gotta go. Oh, it's a dead goat. Well, that gives me the furs I needed, but also the goat didn't walk over and have a coronary. The goat was killed by a wolf, which means there's a wolf in the neighborhood, and I know there was. So, keep an eye out for that jerk. Normally I'm a big fan of wolves in the wild, just not a big fan of wolves in the wild when I'm wearing ragged pajamas, and there's nothing stopping, blocking the wolf from separating me from my... Oh, there he is. And that takes care of that. So that goat probably won't thank me. Ungrateful jerk. But that's okay. Okay. So we got wolf meat. And this wolf meat is actually the next tier up in meat quality. So the lean meat, which we've had before, that's the bottom of the barrel as far as meat quality. And the wolf meat is the next step up. I don't need those pants anymore. Though, truth be told, they're a little bit nicer than the ones I'm wearing, in the looks department at least. Yeah. Okay. I'm tired already. So, in this respect, my in-game character is very similar to me. Run a few feet. Okay, let's take a break. So, okay, there's a bad guy straight ahead. And there's a big pulsing sack of badness there. Let me show you something. You can see that ring, that blue ring. When you walk within that radius and the thing's alive, it will start killing your shroud timer. And if you shoot the thing with an arrow or hit it with a weapon or something, it explodes, and then you saw that blue ring, and your shroud timer really starts going down fast. So, and that's a key element in this combat, is that combat's kind of loosey-goosey. You start throwing your sword around and you're running around and rolling and dodging and beating up guys, and it's kind of fun, kind of random. But a lot of times these guys are standing in the middle of things that you don't want to hit with your weapon. We'll get to some things like exploding barrels or whatever. Now, if you have plenty of hit points, yeah, by all means, knock yourself out. You might very well do that too, but the explosion will probably take out the bad guys as well as you, but that's your thing, then go for it. But yeah, it teaches you real fast to be careful about where you're swinging that thing. Oh, another. Headshots do count. See, that was a headshot, and it did more damage. So, now on some monsters, you don't know where the head is, so it makes it a little harder. Let's see. Falling to ruin, we held out hope digging through the rubble, our lips whispering prayers to the ancients, and always a watchful eye toward the horizon. Even in this furthest corner of the world, the shroud threatens to engulf us and seal away any ray of hope. As the air grew thick with that cursed fog, we held on. As fires raged on the horizon, ash falling like the snow on the howling peak, we pushed harder. May this home long kept usher us into the bright age. Yeah, unfortunately that optimism was ill-founded. It is bright, but it's only because the sun's out. It has nothing to do with prospects for the future. Well, I take that back. We're here to stop all that. Though I will give you another spoiler here. The shroud doesn't go away. It just doesn't go away. We can knock it back in places, but like everything else in the world, it comes back. It's like sweeping a dirt floor. No matter how much you sweep, there's more dirt. This is a beautiful game world, though. I mean, if you're the type that likes going hiking and camping and stuff, like the great outdoors, look at that, right? Got the birds singing, and that's probably one of the things I like about most building games, and it's another reason I consider this a building game, is you kind of got that ambient vibe. So, you know, one of the best things about the building is you build something. You build like a nice place. You build a place that you want to kind of hang out and relax. And in these games that give you good tools for doing that, they also kind of give you this cool ambiance that lets you take full advantage of that. Right? Build a good place and go inside and kind of kick back and enjoy it. Okay, we don't want to get too close to these things. So, sap it with the wand. Saves me an arrow too, by the way. Okay, let's break through here. And silver chest. With that is a fine looking bow. That is a fine looking bow. Yeah, just break out the axe. You can see how I use the wand as a flashlight or torch, depending on where you live. Okay. Pick up the goodies. Oh, I didn't realize I killed a bad guy or something. Okay. Or it was just sitting there, maybe. Man, am I looking ragged. In the most literal sense of the word. But, I mean, let's face it. If anybody was handed these clothes, they'd throw them away. And not only am I not going to throw them away, these aren't hand-me-downs. I made those. Those are brand new. That's my school clothes, my new school clothes. There's my current bow. Let's take a look at the bow. What? So the bow I made is the same as the hunter's bow? Selected, equipped. That's not right. Oh. Okay. There we go. So now there we go. So let's look. They both have 8 power. They both have a 1-second draw speed. But the green bow, we can upgrade it, and it has faster arrow speed. So that's our new bow of choice. In this one, normally you would salvage your weapons, but this one's so low level that there's nothing to salvage. So once we get the blacksmith, we can start upgrading those weapons. So now I have enough metal scraps. I don't have enough shroud spores or string. I have shroud spores in the chest, but not enough. Oh, looking at time, I think that's about it. So obviously we're not going to have time to go get the blacksmith this time. And more to the point, before we go get the blacksmith, we kind of need to do some building. A, because that's really what I'm here to do. But B, more importantly, all the survivors that you pick up, they're kind of picky. I mean, I guess I would be too. But they kind of insist on having a bed, and the bed's got to be in a sheltered space, which means it has a roof over it. So I guess they're not that picky. But that's what we'll work on next time. We will set things up so that when we do get the blacksmith, he will be happy, and that's important because when he is happy, we can leverage that guy. He can help us make a bunch of great stuff. He gives us quests. He says colorful phrases while he wanders around. In short, it'll be good. It'll be one step toward that living, breathing world. But in the meanwhile, I've enjoyed today's little excursion. I hope you did too. I hope you found it interesting. And it is just a small, humble step in what I hope will be a much longer and more interesting journey. A creative exercise that should be interesting. So until next time, I hope this finds you and yours in good health, good spirits, and perhaps a touch of good fortune. Cheers.